Okay, let's take a look at one of the last things you'll need to know how to do. 2 raised to the x. Here's the graph of the exponential curve y equals 2 to the x. This is exponential growth. It grows very rapidly. If you take this graph and you do 2 raised to the x, and then you say plus 5, what does that do to the graph? It moves all the points on the blue graph up 5 units. How about 2 raised to the x minus 3? Okay, the purple graph now takes all the points on the blue graph and moves them down 1, 2, 3 units. 1, 2, 3, you're back on the curve. Okay, so 2 to the x plus 5 minus 3, up or down? Let's X these out. Okay, how about if you had 2 raised to the parentheses x plus 2 now? Now what that does is plus 2 actually moves it left and right. When it's up next to the exponent, it shifts it either left or right. And notice plus 2 goes to the left 2. So then guess what 2 raised to the x minus, let's say minus 3 does? Minus 3 shifts it 1, 2, 3 units to the right. So it does the opposite of what you might think. Okay? So you can shift up and down, left and right. And the last thing you have to be aware of is, hey, what about 2 raised to the negative x? What does that do? Well, that negative x flips the graph of y equals 2 to the x over the y-axis. Every point here reflected over the y is now over here. Okay, this point over the y, now over here. So then you're probably like, well, what about minus 2 raised to the x? Minus 2 raised to the x, let's get rid of this one. Minus 2 raised to the x takes 2 to the x, flips it over the x-axis. So these are the things you need to be aware of for your test. And good luck to you. Miss you guys.